Hi, my name is Kay, and we're going to be talking a little bit about blueberries today. There's nothing like fresh blueberries. A lot of people wonder how they can actually grow them in their own homes. It's actually not that difficult. One of the first things you do need is a nice sunny location. Again, it's at least 6 hours or more, and a little bit of space. One thing with blueberries is they are a shrub. They start out as a young shrub. The first few years they don't produce as much. After a couple years of being in the ground, you'll start to notice that they'll start producing more. One thing you do need to know with blueberries, you want to space them at least 4 feet apart in your garden. And it's always a good idea to actually have 2 different types of blueberries. A blueberry plant by itself can produce blueberries, but when they cross-pollinate with another variety, they produce more. The secret to growing blueberries is you do want to make sure your soil's acidic and has enough acid to it. A blueberry plant literally needs to be at a pH between 4.5 to 5.5. And that's actually pretty low considering most of our garden soils around here are somewhere between 6 and 7. Generally what you're going to need to do is add at least a cup of this when you plant it, and you'll want to mix that into the hole. One thing you can do is bring your soil in to be tested. Generally you want to dig it down at least 4 inches down to get a soil sample and bring it in. But when planting a blueberry, you're going to want to dig a hole that's at least twice the width but the same depth as the pot. You'll want to actually carefully remove it from the pot as you can. If there's any roots that need to be loosened, go ahead and loosen those up so they can get going. Peat moss will actually help to acidify the soil a little bit, as well as allow the soil to maintain an even moisture. Another thing I like to do too is add some composted cow manure. I like to make a mixture of about 1/3 soil, 1/3 peat moss, and 1/3 composted cow manure when I mix in my hole. Birds like blueberries too, and so it's a good idea to put a bird netting over it as well. The first few years, you really don't need to do much in pruning. Just maybe a little light spring prune up in case a few of the tips kind of died back over the winter. Speaking of winter, you may even want to put a little chicken wire around it in case you have little rabbits in the area, because sometimes rabbits get a little hungry and nibble on the twigs in the winter. One of the neat things about blueberries, not only that they produce blueberries, is that they also have wonderful fall foliage. The fall foliage can range on fiery red to a burgundy color depending on the variety. Another thing about blueberries is that they're wonderful for antioxidants. Antioxidants are a great thing, especially for those of us who have stressful lives. It helps repair our cell damage, and they just taste wonderful as well. Give them a few years of tender, loving care, and you'll have more blueberries than you can know what to do with, and your friends will like it too.